Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Dolphins are top 10 in passing TDs. They go up against the Eagles defense that will need to be on its game. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, it was a little late in getting here, but autumn has arrived on a beautiful November day in Miami, Florida. A moment ago, this Miami crowd fired up by the emergence from the tunnel of their defensive star, Ndamukong Suh, as he and the rest of the Dolphins will get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M. It's Ryan Tannehill.
I think one of the things I like about Ryan Tannehill's game is that he understands what his receivers are looking for downfield. He played that position at Texas A&M before becoming the starting quarterback. So a lot of times when he's in the pocket looking downfield, he's actually running the routes with the receivers as he remembers them.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Play fake to Ajayi. It's Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Wentz now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. From the gun, it's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Flush to his right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A Philadelphia first down. Wentz finding Matthews.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And down he'll go at the 25. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series...
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 14-0 is our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Tannehill now. They give to Ajayi. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 3rd and short, Drake. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Here's Matt Darr now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. They struggled that last drive. They were kind of hit two ways, both with the run and the pass.
And I love how you brought hit into it, because a lot of defense coordinators like to show a little cut-up film the night before a game. They usually have some boxing in there, and it always shows the guy being the aggressor, the guy on his toes punching, not back on his heels taking punches, and that's where this defense was on the last possession.
They were on their heels. Will they be on their heels again? Let's see. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
To throw, it's Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
Handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And down inside the 15 he goes. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Miami after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Wentz now to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Brent Selleck as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's a handoff to a Giant to begin the drive. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Dolphins are not moving the ball through the air for a 2nd straight week. The Eagles' defense will hope they can force that trend to continue in the second half. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Eagles now late in the first quarter. Aguilar is bound on the quick pass, and he finds his mark for the score. That puts them up by a...
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Around the NFL, they're in the second quarter at Lambeau. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now Wentz, and Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And now running right through it. A good pickup there at 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Wentz going to give this one to Blunt, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Byron Maxwell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And got his tight end, Duarte. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They run again with Ajayi. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the 50, it's Tannehill. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talked about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be hit with a lot of force and spun down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Skirts by at the 15. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Tannehill, and throw right side complete to Parker. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
He's got it at the 15. A big play that time for the Dolphins. 42 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
7 yards to go on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Byron Maxwell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right? Yeah. The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out come the Dolphins now. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now it's Tannehill. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Timmy Jernigan able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Yeah, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Tannehill into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. With a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Xavier Howard. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about it. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. On first down, Tannehill. Landry brushes him off. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. They go play action here on first down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Philadelphia, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.